Ladies and gentlemen, namaskar, and welcome to the 15th edition of the Jaipur Literature Festival, protected by Dettol, Banega Swasth India, at the Jan Mikulski Foundation, Baithak. Our next session for the day is Orchha and the paintings of Bundelkhand. Narmada Prasad Upadhyaya in conversation with Rima Hooja, and this is a part of Art Matters series. The city of Orchha in Madhya Pradesh, founded by Rudra Pratap Singh in 1501, was a seat of the eponymous princely state in the Bundelkhan region. It is a symbol of shifting, formidable histories and home to a magnificent artistic tradition. Orchha means hidden, and the resplendent paintings depicting Puranic stories, regal and quotidian affairs, and spontaneous and devotional outpourings are its distinctive treasure. The artistic idiom of Bundelkhand. Narmada Prasad Upadhyaya is a Hindi essayist and art critic who is working as the additional commissioner in the commercial tax department in Madhya Pradesh and has been invested in the study of Indian miniature paintings and murals for more than 30 years. He has also 46 books to his credit, including translations, edited works, and joint ventures. He is the recipient of several prestigious awards in the field of literature and art, including the distinguished Kala Bhushan Award. Rima Hooja is an archaeologist and historian and the director of the Maharaja Soiman Singh II Museum, City Palace, director of the Jagar Fort and the managing trustee of the Jaipur Virasat Foundation. She is also the visiting faculty at the School of Planning and Architecture, Delhi, and a fellow of the Royal Asiatic Society.
I think Narmada Prasad ji would appreciate having control over the slides. Can we have the, whatever it's called, given to him? Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. और ये सेशन सर हम हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों में जैसा जैसा सवाल आएगा जैसा आपका मूड है चलाएंगे. So there is a lot that Narmada Prasad ji will be showing us, and there is this rich Bundelkhand tradition. So I'm not going to repeat any part of the introduction about him. He is extremely well known across the country. His work is well known. He has written in Hindi and in English, and he's published profusely. How many? 40 plus books, something like that. Yes, more than 40. And he has got a delight for us in the form of several slides, which he will be sharing with us. But sir, शुरुआत हम इससे पहले कि हम बुंदेलखंड और ओरछा विजुअली पहुँचे, आप बताइए आप ओरछा बुंदेलखंड और पेंटिंग्स की दुनिया में कैसे पहुँचे? Because you are a commissioner of taxes and
ये आपने बड़ा दिलचस्प सवाल पूछा. एक वाणिज्यिक कर विभाग में होते हुए भी कला और लघु चित्रों के संबंध में मेरी कैसी रुचि रही, तो मुझको एक छोटा सा प्रसंग याद आया. होली आने वाली है, तो राधा और कृष्ण की होली हो रही है. होली के बाद जो है वो राधा लौटती हैं और उनकी सखी जो है उनकी आँखों से अबीर और गुलाल निकालती है. तो वो पूछती है उनसे कि क्या तुम्हारी आँखों से अबीर निकल गया? तो बोलती है कि वो अबीर तो निकल गया, लेकिन वो अहीर का छोरा जो है वो मेरी आँख से नहीं निकला. तो 40 वर्षों तक वाणिज्यिक कर विभाग जैसे विभाग में रहने के बाद बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो हैं वो उनसे महरूम हो गया, वो छूट गई मुझसे. लेकिन कला और साहित्य के जो अबीर के टुकड़े थे वो मेरी आंखों में बसे रह गए और आज भी बसे हुए.
ये तो सर आपने कविता से ही शुरू कर दिया. तो थोड़ा वो अबीर के टुकड़े जो हैं आंखों से तो नहीं जाएंगे, ना अहीर के छोरे के गए, लेकिन वो आपको बुंदेलखंड की तरफ या कला की तरफ थोड़ी उस जर्नी को शेयर करने, और अब आपके पास कंट्रोल है हमारी विजुअल लाइफ के ऊपर.
Bundelkhand, so far as the Bundelkhand is concerned, it is a very hoary and rich history. And what Bundelkhand is, I will like to recite a small verse in Bundeli, which will be followed in English. विंध्य घाटियान वारों बेतवा धसान वासे चंबलो कयान वा को नाम है बुंदेलखंड. कालीजर सोनागिर ओरछा उन्नाव तीर्थ राम रमय चित्रकूट धाम है बुंदेलखंड, साको है चंदेलन को, सूरमा बुंदेलन को, कला खजुराहो की, ललाम है बुंदेलखंड, वीर भूमि दुर्ग भूमि रण की वरण भूमि, इंद्र कवि भूमि अभिराम है बुंदेलखंड. This is a short poem, means surrounded by the ranges of Vindhya mountains and Ken, Betwa and Dhasan river, that is Bundelkhand, where pilgrimages like Kalijar, Orchha and Unnao are situated. That beautiful land is Bundelkhand, where Lord Rama was living once. It is Bundelkhand. It is Bundelkhand where the chivalry of Bundelas and the fame of Chandelas are still alive, and where the beauty of Khajuraho has touched its height, that is Bundelkhand, and where it is the land where we see the chivalry of Chandelas and bravery of Bundelas, and according to poet Indra, that beautiful land is Bundelkhand. So this is Bundelkhand. Here you will find it in the portraiture in verse, the beauty and boundary of Bundelkhand. And the focal place is Orchha, obviously. Orchha, now so far as the Bundelkhand is, in brief, if I should say, the Bundelkhand history, if we go, we find this hoary history of Bundelkhand since the times of Ramayana. And at that point of time, it was known as Chitrakoot. Later, it was known as Padmavati, then Yuddhadesh, and Madhyadesh, and Karnadesh, and Vanyadesh. And in the medieval times, it was known as Jajagbhukti. And when the Chandelas were defeated by the Bundelas, in the mid-14th century, it was known as Bundelkhand. And since that time, that name still prevails. So this is Bundelkhand. And it was dominated by number of dynasties, including Shishunag and Rashtrakutas and Mauryas and Guptas and Khangaras and Chandelas and Bundelas, Parmaras and so on. Tomars of Gwalior also dominated it once. But the focal place is Orchha. And
so you talked about the sculpture and the heights of Khajuraho, but Orchha is also known for not just the paintings and the murals, but the buildings which are almost sculpture in themselves.
Yes, that I will show. So far as the Orchha is concerned, briefly, if I say how that name originated.
Definitely.
The Orchha was, it was the legendary king Hemkaran of Varanasi who established this Bundela dynasty, and Bund, a drop fell upon the icon of Vindhyavasini Devi when he was giving his own sacrifice. So the name of Bundela came in existence, and Raja Rudra Pratap, as has been indicated earlier here, was the ruler who first established the fort in Orchha. And Orchha, it is known as Orchor. And in 1907, when the Gazetteer of Luard was published, he informed that it is Orchor. But he said that when Rudra Pratap tried to search a proper land for the establishment of his kingdom, he found this land and he exclaimed, Orecha, Orecha. Later it became Orcha. It means a land which is situated at low level. And Orchha was populated at that point of time also. It was known as Gangapur. So that Orchha was the focal place of Bundelkhand region, and later in 1626 it was bifurcated in another one state. The Datia state came in existence, and Bhagwan Das became the ruler, who was the younger brother of Veer Singh Judev. But as you indicated earlier, the main buildings of Orchha were erected during the times of Rudra Pratap Singh and later Madhukar Shah, his son, and then son of Madhukar Shah was Veer Singh Judev, who was contemporary of Jahangir, and he was very near to Jahangir, because when Jahangir was heir apparent as a Salim in Allahabad, he assassinated Abul Fazl and sent his severe head to Allahabad, so he became favorite of Jahangir and he got his full support. So we have Raj Mahal, Rani Mahal, Jahangir Mahal, or Ramlala temple, Mandir, as you told. At present, Orchha is known for Ram Raja Mandir.
Yes.
Ram Raja Mandir, Ram Lala means he is an infant child in Ayodhya, but he is king
In Orchha.
He is king in Orchha. Therefore, that temple is known as Orchha temple, as Ram Raja temple, because he is king of that particular that Orchha. And that is a long story, that how the wife of Madhukar Shah, Ganesh Kumari, brought the idol of Lord Rama under the leadership of Goswami Tulsidas, and that idol was enshrined in the Rani Mahal instead of Chaturbhuj Palace, which was built for this purpose. So you will see those monuments.
We are waiting to see that. But you also mentioned that before Orchha was founded, there was a settlement there, which was Gangapur.
That was Ganga.
And how far back does that history go? Because it has always fascinated me that most of the time in India, when there is a new settlement, it's not really new. It can often be a place which has been partly abandoned.
Yes,
or
yes.
There's a memory of a longer thing, and it's the same with Gangapur.
It is the same, but this is not much known to the
Not
people.
much is known, yes.
People simply say that the Orchha was just
Well, with the river
established
Betwa
by-
and the water,
Betwa.
we
As
often don't know how much.
Orchha means some structure, some cenotaphs you will find in
On both
Orchha
sides.
at this bank and some on the
On the
other
other side, yes.
Therefore, Orchha.
Orchha. So I think, sir, we are more than ready for
Yes, thank you.
we have a treat in store for us because
ये कैसे होगा?
ये आगे या पीछे होगा सर? एक मिनट. किधर पॉइंट करना है?
बताइए.
We are pointing it the wrong way. Where do you want us pointing?
ये this is.
There?
Yes.
It's moved. ये वाला.
Now this is the present Bundelkhand. You will find 7 districts situated in the Uttar Pradesh, and there are 7 districts in Madhya Pradesh, and Orchha is in Madhya Pradesh. And this is Ram Raja temple. This is the entrance gate of Ram Raja temple, and the other behind that you will find the complete temple. This is Jahangir Mahal Orchha. It was built by Veer Singh Judev, and in 1606 Jahangir stayed here for a day. And this is Lakshmi Mandir Orchha. You will find Lakshmi, the vehicle of Lakshmi is owl. So you will find it is in owl shape. And so this is the vehicle of Lakshmi. It is known as Lakshmi Mandir. And now the murals of Bundelkhand you will find. These are the murals you will find on the depicted on the entrance gate of Orchha, and they are mainly the incarnations, and there are some Gajendra Moksha also. Then these are the two enlarged paintings, Gajendra Moksha and fish incarnation. And this is a good mural where Krishna is playing flute in Jahangir Mahal. And Honorable Dada Dr. Harsh Dahejia ji is here, who has blessed me, and he has done book with me on this Bundelkhand painting. And in that book, he is a legendary figure who has contributed a lot, and we are very fortunate to witness him here. I just require his blessings. So, in that book, Rothforb has also published a mural of Jahangir, but I could not find that. And this is beautiful mural of Ram Darbar in Orchha. I will like to point out the thing that Mahakavi Keshav was born in Orchha. He was patron of Indrajit Singh, the younger brother of Veer Singh Judev, and though credit is given to Bir Singh Ju Dev for the depiction of these beautiful murals based on Ram Lala theme, but Indrajit Singh, who was a great art lover and connoisseur of art, and who married with the Praveen Rai, the great dancer, and who was the disciple of Mahakavi Keshav. So Mahakavi Keshav wrote Ramchandrika. It is like Ramcharitmanas. So it is said that when the Ramlila was performed in Orchha, at that point of time, the dialogues of Ramchandrika were delivered by the participants. And therefore, you will find that these are the this is the dramatic appearance. You will not find in a natural way the postures of these paintings. And this is Nav Gunjara. That you will find Nav Gunjara, this is not the concept in Mahabharata. This is the Odishan concept. Nav Gunjara, 15th century by Sarla Das. But it is really amazing that how that traveled, this device traveled from Odisha to Orchha in that period. So this is Nav Gunjara. He is Krishna in form of Nav Gunjara, and Arjuna is standing before him. This is the tent, particularly a Bundelkhandi tent, in which we find this rasa dance of Krishna with gopis. And the Ganesh Ju, Ganesh is said Ganesh Ju in Bundelkhand, so you will find Ganesh Ji and this Krishna mural beautifully depicted there in Orchha. And this is fine peacock having a beautiful mural frame. This is the gallery where you will find well adorned, decorated with the rasa theme, and you will also find the other paintings here. This is, here you will find Ganeshji and Riddhi and Siddhi. They are in Rajasthani costumes. This is significant fact that in Orchha and Datia, the architecture of Jaipur was adopted. Architectural settings in Datia paintings particularly, you will find they are adopted from Datia school. And so is the case with the costumes also. And this is Satkhanda Palace. It is also known as Govind Mahal or Veer Singh Ju Dev Palace in Datia. And here Praveen Rai is dancing. Praveen Rai was a great dancer of Orchha, and though she was married with Indrajit Singh, but as the Akbar was emperor, he heard about her, and he ordered Praveen Rai to come to his court. So she went, but she was very intelligent, and she told a doha, Vinti Rai Praveen ki suniye Shah Sujan, झूठी पाखर भरत है भखत है बारी बारस स्वान. इसका अर्थ ये है कि ये तो मैं एक झूठी पाथर की तरह हूँ जिसे या तो जूठा उठाने वाले या कुत्ते या कौवे खाते हैं. तो वो अकबर को बड़ी शर्मिंदगी महसूस हुई कहते हैं, और फिर उन्होंने उसको वापस भेज दिया. So this is the beauty of this painting, that in Orchha Praveen Rai is dancing before Indrajit Singh. It is 17th century depiction.
In fact, most paintings are murals and all are 17th century. They're not.
Murals are of,
even though the city was founded in 1503 or something.
City was founded in 1531 and it was completed in 1539. During
but
the
most
times.
of the paintings are
and
of
most
later.
of the deputy paintings were done between 1605 to 1627 during the period of Bir Singh Ju Dev under the monitoring of Indrajit Singh Dev.
Right, we carry on.
And this is Rai Praveen Palace, where you will find these this dancing posture, Praveen Rai in dancing posture along with her maid servant. And this is the beautiful painting of Datia. You will find this Maratha influence. This is 19th century painting, mural, and you will find that Naugaji sari is worn by the ladies, and Krishna is depicted like Vithoba. This is from Maharashtra, so you will find Krishna as Vitoba. This is the painting of Raja Parichat. He was a great art lover, and his period was 1801 to 1831. And his father Shatrujit Singh was a great art lover, and during his times, number of beautiful miniature paintings were done. So his period was 1765 to 1801, and he was succeeded by Raja Parichat. And this is Rasa dance. One significant thing of Datia miniatures is that you will find the inscriptions. If you even see the miniature paintings, or if you see these wall paintings or murals, you will find that the inscriptions are there, and everything is written in detail. So you will find, you can count each and every leaf in that depiction of tree.
So I have not been to Datia in years and years and years, maybe since childhood. But I'm told that a lot of these are now in very bad state of...
They are, certainly, I have also brought all these things to the notice of the government that they are badly being deteriorated. And when I surveyed this area and I wrote an encyclopedic type of book, Bundelkhand ke Bhitti Chitra, then I also pointed out, and I have requested the government for the protection. And unfortunately, most of the murals are, some murals are not in existence, which I surveyed and documented.
No, which is why for us it is a treat to see them on screen here for all of us.
That is, it is a good thing that they have been documented, and that treasure is with us now.
Gee.
And this is the beautiful painting. Again, you will see the Krishna lifting a Govardhana mountain, and that clear inscription is there. And this is a beautiful device which has been, which you will find in the Bundelkhand murals, these circular dance, these circle. You will find each and every creature joyful, not only the male and female. The bird is also joyful, and that is dancing. The animals are dancing. The human being, they are all dancing. So this is the rasa, not limited to only Krishna and Radha and their companions. And this is in Bundelkhand, from Awadh, the people who were known as Goswamis, though they were Shivites, the great devotee of Lord Shiva, but they were great warriors also. So Himmat Giri Goswami came here, and he started living there. He was known as Shiv Giri Goswami, and his successors were other 4 Goswamis. And then they are the samadhis where this type of depictions we find. 19th century.
But any significance to the use of blue there?
Yes, they have used mostly blue color.
Yes.
Blue color. Because in other paintings like this of
they
Awadh
are
Bihari temple, you will not
polychrome.
find.
There are many colors.
There are many colors.
Yes.
This is a very nice painting of Awadh Bihari temple in Datia. This is painting of Ram Darbar. And again, this... this is, sorry, this is the painting of Satkhanda Palace. This is the painting of 17th century, and you will find the depiction of dragon. As I indicated earlier, Jahangir, Bir Singh Ju Dev was very much influenced with Jahangir, and this particular device of dragon was borrowed by Bir Singh Ju Dev from the Jahangir, and this you will find painted here. Dr. Ashok Kumar Das has extensively written about it. And these are the oldest murals of Ragmala paintings. All 36 ragas and raginis are painted here. Ebeling, the famous art historian, who has written Ragmala in 1973, he has made the sketches of them. This is Deshakh Ragini. Unfortunately, they are also being badly deteriorated, but this painting is in good condition, and I could succeed in taking a good picture of that. And this is a Bijna. Now, Bijna we know as fan. As I told, Bir Singh Judev, the son of Bir Singh Judev, the state was divided in Bhagwan Singh Datia. And then Hardol Ju is considered as the hero of Bundelkhand, who who was poisoned by his elder brother, and it was alleged that he has illicit relations with his sister-in-law. But knowing that he is taking the poison, he took the poison and took his last breath in Ramlala temple and died. His Jagir was Bada Gaon, and his grandson was Rai Singh, and Rai Singh has 8 sons. So this Jagir was divided among 8 sons, and that was known as Ashtgadis. So Bijna was one of the Ashtgadis. And this is the entrance gate of Bijna. Bijna at present is located near Jhansi, and there is no hardly population of 200, 300 people. But you will find the beautiful paintings there. This is Gajendra Moksha of 18th century mural. And this is the beautiful painting. If you would have heard the name of Maithili Sharan Gupta. मैथिली शरण गुप्त जिनको राष्ट्रकवि हम कहते हैं, वो चिरगांव के रहने वाले थे. तो चिरगांव वाज वन ऑफ द अष्टगढ़ीज, और ये उनके घर के पास एक बावड़ी में एक स्टेप वेल में बनी हुई है. हाँ, इट इज़ जनरली नॉट विजिबल, बट इट इज़ डिपिक्टेड, इट इज़ पेंटेड इन ए स्टेप वेल इन चिरगांव.
उनकी किसी कविता में इसका जिक्र आया है?
नहीं, उनकी कविता में तो कविता तो साकेत लिखी है उन्होंने, वो तो
नहीं,
पूरे
वो ठीक है,
राममय
लेकिन
थे.
इसका कुछ अलग से
म्यूरल का अलग से
आपने
नहीं,
कहीं ट्रेस नहीं किया.
उन्होंने जो है नहीं साकेत लिखा है. मैंने साकेत पूरा पढ़ा
वो तो
है.
सभी ने पढ़ा होगा, कुछ अंश तो
नहीं,
स्कूल में
पूरा
सभी ने.
साकेत ही पढ़ा, और उनके मैं वहाँ गया भी हूँ. ऐसा कोई उनका ग्रंथ नहीं है जिसमें उन्होंने विशेष रूप से इसका जिक्र किया हो, लेकिन ये है वहाँ.
बड़ी खूबसूरत.
ये है वहाँ. और ये देखिए आप, वहाँ जो अष्टगढ़ियाँ हैं उनमें चिरगांव है, बंका पहाड़ी है, तोड़ी फतेहपुर है, टहरोली है, ऐसी 8 अष्टगढ़ियाँ हैं. इसमें से ये तोड़ी फतेहपुर है. आप देखेंगे कि रामलीला की बजाय कृष्ण लीला का डिपिक्शन बहुत ज़्यादा हुआ है, चाहे वो राजस्थान हो, चाहे वो पहाड़ हो, चाहे वो मालवा हो. लेकिन बुंदेलखंड में तो राममय हैं, राम राजा हैं वहाँ के, इसलिए एवरीबडी इज आफ्टर लॉर्ड रामा. वो केवल राममय हैं, इसलिए राम की जितनी भी कथाएं हैं वो वहाँ डिपिक्ट हुई हैं. आप देखिए कितनी शानदार म्यूरल है इसमें. और फिर ये जो है, मैं इट इज़ रियली वेरी, आई एम एस्टोनिश्ड, आई एम सरप्राइज्ड कि अभी तक आर्ट हिस्टोरियंस की नज़र इसके ऊपर कैसे नहीं पड़ी. ये खजुराहो की म्यूरल है 10वीं शताब्दी की. ये वहाँ के एक जैन मंदिर में हालांकि दिखाई नहीं देती है, बहुत अंधेरे में है, बट यू विल फाइंड दिस. दिस इज़ द म्यूरल, ओल्डेस्ट म्यूरल ऑफ बुंदेलखंड ऑफ 10th century. अभी तक ओल्डेस्ट म्यूरल इसको मानते थे. ये मदनपुर करके एक जगह है ललितपुर के पास, वहाँ दिस इज़ द म्यूरल डिपिक्टेड, एंड इट इज़ बीन पॉइंटेड आउट बाय स्टेला क्रैमरिश, and in 1932 she wrote a very good article in a journal in Banaras. So you will find these 2 Gandharvas and Madan Varma the king. This is beautiful painting, you see. This is from Sagar. सागर के पास रेहली पटनागंज करके स्थान है. दिस इज ए जैन पेंटिंग. यू सी एरावत and the party which is here, the dancing parties and the musicians. And this is another painting from Gadhakota. Gadhakota is also a small place near Sagar, and you will wonder that this is not painted in any independent temple. It is painted in a house. That house belongs to a Jain. और वहाँ केवल तीर्थंकरों की 2-3 डिपिक्शंस हैं, बाकी सारे के सारे रामलीला और कृष्ण लीला के हैं. ये दिस इज़ राम दरबार, मैरिज ऑफ राम. एंड दिस इज़ ए वेरी रेयर पेंटिंग आई फाउंड इन ए डेंस फॉरेस्ट in a small village of mostly 120 people. This is known as Bari Kanora, in which we see sun riding on a chariot of 7 horses. And this is the This is situated on the boundary of Malwa and Bundelkhand, and it is not very much relevant to discuss, and because the time constraint is also here. Otherwise, this negates the theory which has been propounded by Dr. Conrad Seitz, in which he says that all the paintings which are said to the paintings of Malwa, they were done in Bundelkhand. Bundelkhand is an independent and very rich school, and Malwa has its own tradition.
So let us for a second, even as we are looking at these images, share a little bit about what makes the Bundelkhand school special in comparison, say, to Malwa or other areas.
Bundelkhand school, as you will, I will point it out in the when we will go to the miniatures. They have their own iconography. Number one, they have the paintings in which on the upper register you will find the inscriptions in white ink. You will find the architecture like Jaipur, and you will also find that these most paintings are related to this theme of Ramlala in Orchha particularly, and so far as Datia is concerned, we find Krishna Leela.
Krishna Leela also. And also, as our audience would have observed themselves, the murals also, there is a very rich color palette. Blues.
Yes, yes.
Not a very bright lapis lazuli blue, but a blue, reds, even orange and pinks.
You will find multiple colors.
And we look forward to seeing the
like
ones.
you see, it has the influence, Maratha influence, Ganesh with Riddhi Siddhi, and inscription is there. And this is beautiful painting from the Gosai temple, in which we find this Radha dancing on the, and Krishna is playing the flute. And this is the mural from Chitrakoot, painted gates you find. And now the miniature paintings of Bundelkhand. The miniature paintings of Bundelkhand, this is from the collection of Jagdish Mittal and Kamla Mittal collection of Indian art, Hyderabad. And here we find Raja Samant Singh. As Bir Singh Judev and Indrajit Singh, they were responsible for the murals. This Savant Singh and Sujan Singh and wife of Pahad Singh, Hira Dev, which has been pointed out by Rai Anand Krishna ji, they were responsible for the miniatures. And we have two beautiful collections. One collection is in N.C. Mehta collection, Ahmedabad. The another one is this collection, and the third collection is with Honorable Harsh Dahejia ji, who is sitting here. I will show some paintings from his collection. So he is, and this is, you will find this peculiar, see these mustaches here, the dense mustaches, and this Jaipur type settings and these clouds. This is from Baramasa painting, month of Savan. And this is the beautiful painting based on Mahalakshmi Vrat Katha of Puran. So this story was not found is not found in any published work, but I could find it in the Raghunath Library in Jammu, and on the basis of that story in Datia, this beautiful miniature was done. In the 18th century, John Seiler and Mittalji have published it in 2019. And this is another, see this pond, and see these round, these trees. You may count each and every leaf of that. And those, the ladies are there just telling the story of Mahavrat Katha, Mahalakshmi Vrat Katha. And this is, you will find the company influence, apparent company influence of 19th century. It is in a private collection where Raja Sujan Singh is watching a dance performance and listening music. And this is again a painting of Shatrujit. This depicts the complete characteristics of Datia. You will find this patka. This patka is the signature feature of that idiom, because it is a multifold type of garment which is worn by the person in the waist, and this is the patka so heavy, which Shatrujit has worn. Dr. N.C. Mehta has also published to. And this is beautiful painting based on the couplet of Bihari Satsai. Now, one thing I also want to point out, in Bundelkhand it is known as likhna. जो पेंटिंग होती है जो उसको लिखना कहते हैं. और बिहारी ने एक बड़ा अच्छा दोहा लिखा, लिखनी बैठ जाकी सखी गही गही गरब गुरूर गए न केते जतन के चतुर चितेरे कूर. Means number of accomplished painters tried to portray the beauty of the heroine, but none could succeed because she was so beautiful that she could not be caught in picture. वो इतनी खूबसूरत थी कि उसको जो है वो उसको मूक शब्द मूक रेखाओं में और सूखे रंगों में कैसा बांधा जा सकता था. तो बिहारी ने उसको कहा इट इज़ नॉट मीन्स राइटिंग. बुंदेलखंड में चित्र बनाने को लिखना कहते हैं और चित्र जो बनाता है उसको लिखिया कहते हैं. चितेउर भी कहते हैं, चतेउरी भी कहते हैं. देयर आर नंबर ऑफ वर्ड्स फॉर दैट. सो ये जो है ये चित्र ये जो आप देखेंगे बिहारी के दोहे पे है. वो समय ज़्यादा लगेगा, दोहा पढ़ूंगा या उसका अर्थ बताऊंगा. उसका आशय ये है कि वो चित्र दिखा रही है नायिका नायक को कि ये मैं मुकुर है. उसमें एक शब्द मुकुर का मतलब दर्पण भी होता है और मुकुर का अर्थ मुकरना भी होता है, डेविएट करना. तो वो दिखा रही है कि ये तुम रात को किसी दूसरी प्रेमिका के पास थे. इसका प्रमाण ये है कि तुम्हारे सिर के ऊपर जो है ये महावर लगा हुआ है. मैं तुमको ये मुकुर दिखा रही हूँ ताकि बाद में तुम मुकर ना जाओ. हाँ, और ये देखिए ये दिस इज़ फ्रॉम रहीजिया जी's कलेक्शन. मैं समय की कमी है, ये आप देख लीजिए. ये भी उसी शैली का चित्र है, ये भी उसी शैली का चित्र है. ये एक दूसरी शैली का चित्र है पीटर बॉल्म कलेक्शन का जो भागवत पे आधारित है. और ये बिजना के चित्र हैं. इनकी विशेषता ये है कि इनके पीछे जो कोलोफोन है, जो पुष्पिका है, उसमें डेट और पेंटर का नाम और ये सब लिखा हुआ है. ये और डेट डली हुई है, कौन कौन किस किस पोस्चर में खड़ा हुआ है. ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर रिटन हियर. ये दीज आर द पेंटर्स. दिस शोज दैट हाउ मच दे वेयर फॉन्ड ऑफ पेंटिंग. एंड दिस इज अगेन the painting from Bundelkhand of 19th century based on the caste theme. ये जैसे तेलन, तो वो तेलन का विवरण दिया हुआ है. This is again a theme of Baramasa which was depicted in Ashtagadi. This is 1610 Rasik Priya, and these are all, this is the painting in which one Bihari Lal is saying to another Bihari कि बिहारी कृष्ण का भी नाम है, बिहारी पोएट भी हैं. वो कह रहे हैं ओ लॉर्ड बिहारी लाल, यू काइंडली हैव दिस ड्रेस एंड इंशन इन माई हार्ट. आप मेरे हृदय में वैसे ही विराज जाओ जैसे आप यहाँ खड़े हुए हो. धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद सर. आपने, मुझे लगता है आपने एक अपनी नई किताब एक तरह से यहाँ पेश कर दी ये 30-40 मिनट के अल्प समय में. सो थैंक यू फॉर शेयरिंग दीज इमेजेस. सवाल तो बहुत होंगे, थोड़ा सा आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट हुएवर आस्क द क्वेश्चन प्लीज़ आइडेंटिफाई योरसेल्व्स. माइक्स आप पीछे से शुरू करिए. वन देयर, सेकंड वन हियर. और बहुत कुछ और है पूछने को, जैसा कि पीले का प्रयोग बहुत दिख रहा है पेंटिंग्स में. इस तरह के सवाल होंगे, बट आई विल शेयर कीप माइंड. द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन ओवर देयर प्लीज़.
वो तो खैर एक झलक आपने देख ली. बुंदेलखंड पेंटिंग्स के बारे में लोग कम जानते हैं.
माइक किसके पास है? He's got the mic. Please ask your question. Please identify yourself.
Ma'am, am I audible? Here. I'm here.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So my question is that we saw a lot of paintings created on the walls of palaces, outside the palaces. What was the thought behind creating these paintings? Was it astrological thought, or was it to give some sort of message to the royal family, those who are living in that palace? What was the thought? Why they decided that they want to create a specific kind of painting?
It was not a remote place. We consider it as remote because we could not access to those paintings in this time. That they were really mostly religiously motivated, as I indicated earlier, because Lord Rama came from Ayodhya and he was enshrined in Ayodhya as Ram Raja. So these paintings were mostly motivated by them, and the ateliers were very common in they were royal ateliers, and in the small tikanas as Bijna I have given the example. There the Rajas and the Thakurs and the kings were there, so they have their own atelier and the court scenes and all these on different subjects. They were depicted like their other counterparts of Malwa and Rajasthan and hills.
Thank you, sir.
Who has the mic next? Yes, please ask your question.
Sorry. I wanted to ask a similar question to what I asked at the Jaipur session, which is the end of the Bundelkhand school of art. When does it end? Is it to do with 1947 and the end of the princely state, or does it happen earlier than that? And when are the last murals, the last miniature paintings being produced?
The miniature paintings I saw, as I indicated, in Bijna. In Bijna, that by the end of 19th century, we find no flourish, no development of any Bundelkhandi school. But even today, in a small place, and in a small house, you will find the painting. That sanskar is there. वो sanskar अभी जीवित है. That is still alive.
So
They depict.
that is what I'm taking the privilege of sitting here to ask. Are people still painting? Do they have a patron who would appreciate that?
Yes, they are painting.
Are they just doing copies?
Yes,
Or they are
painting.
also creating?
They are creating paintings at their own. They are creating paintings, though very rare. But
Can we expect a book from you on what they are doing now?
what
In
they
the
are
longer
doing.
tradition?
Yes, I will certainly try to do it.
I think आपको बिल्कुल sir. The next question आप बताइए. Who has the mic? Yeah.
Yes, sir,
Aap
I'm Dr. G.C. Bagdi. I'm an anthropologist. Actually, sir, I missed two things in your lecture. Like you travel every part of the Bundelkhand, but you didn't discuss Chanderi. That is also a gem. And I saw murals in cave, Mahavir Swami's murals in caves. That is rare, like we talk about the Buddha paintings in Afghanistan. But even in my mobile, I have those pictures. Second, I want to hear something about cenotaphs of Orchha.
Yes, there are paintings in cenotaphs of Orchha. I have the painting. I have also a very large version of this presentation. That is not here, but that in another version, which is large, I have covered all those paintings of cenotaphs. And the other thing, what you are? Chanderi. I could also see Chanderi. Ashok Nagar मेरी ससुराल है तो चंदेरी तो मैं frequently गया हूँ. I have frequently visited Chanderi, and but there are no paintings there.
The cave.
Huh?
Cave.
Cave. There are they are caves. They are primitive caves near the bank of the river which is flowing in between Ashok Nagar and Chanderi. There are murals. Yes, I have seen that.
I would then refer you both to the many books that Narmada Prasad ji has done, but also to come and talk to him afterwards when he signs things over there, and you'll be able to kind of connect with each other and follow up on this. It's a very interesting aspect that you brought up. Do we have another? Yes, we have several hands. Whoever is nearest to mic, how much time do we have? 4 questions at the most. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, hello, I'm here.
Please speak up.
Namaskar,
Ma'am,
Upadhyaya.
sir, I'm already
Please
on.
speak up. Yes, just ask
Okay,
your question.
okay.
We're short of time.
Ma'am,
Ask.
this region is totally dependent on inbound tourism, and why domestic tourism is not promoted. However, this is such a jewel of Madhya Pradesh, Orchha and Khajuraho belt.
Thank you. And the
This
next
is a matter of policy. The government should be pursued to take a decision that this art should be promoted.
Right.
And I have tried at my level. I have written continuously to the government and brought it to the notice.
So we want to maximize the time. Can the mic be given to the next speaker, please? One here, then next over there across the aisle.
नमस्कार उपाध्याय जी. ये चुनार रागमाला का कोई कनेक्शन बुंदेलखंड पेंटिंग के साथ?
नहीं, चुनार रागमाला तो बाद में बनी, बूंदी के शासकों के द्वारा बनाई गई थी वो. जब उनको बनारस के पास चुनार का राज्य दे दिया गया था। हालांकि बूंदी के जो महाराजा हैं ब्रजराज सिंह जी, वो इस दृष्टिकोण के थे कि वही ये वो तो वहीं बनी है, लेकिन चुनार के आर्टिस्ट के नाम हैं, उस पर इंस्क्रिप्शंस हैं, आपको जानकारी होगी। चुनार रागमाला से इसका संबंध नहीं है, ये तो चुनार रागमाला के पहले बने हुए हैं। ये म्यूरल सबसे ओल्डेस्ट म्यूरल्स हैं। खेमकरन की रागमाला के आधार पर दतिया में जो सतखंडा महल में चित्र बने हुए हैं, आप एबलिंग की पुस्तक पढ़िए, उसमें उन्होंने पूरा इसका विवरण भी दिया हुआ है। ये उसके पहले के हैं।
धरोहर इतनी हमारी विराट है। आप पूछिए
जी।
और फिर इनको माइक दे दीजिए जब तक ये पूछ रहे हैं।
आई एम फ्रॉम बुंदेलखंड। सो हाँ,
बुंदेलखंड टू विच प्लेस?
उरई।
उरई, जालौन उरई।
जी। सो मैं आपसे मिलने के लिए ही इतने दूर से आया था, क्योंकि
अरे
आप, हाँ, मैंने बहुत कुछ सुना था आपके बारे में। हमारे यहाँ जैसे यहाँ राम राम बोलते हैं, हमारे यहाँ सीताराम बोलते हैं।
सीताराम होती
तो आपको सीताराम। और मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि हमारे वहाँ एक शजर पत्थर पाया जाता है बुंदेलखंड में।
हाँ हाँ,
उसके बारे में मैं थोड़ा आपसे जानना चाहता था, शजर के बारे में, और ख़ासकर जो वहाँ की चितैवरी कला है, और टेसू झिंझिया के नृत्य होते थे, और कई सारी चीज़ें हैं। मैंने
देखिए बुंदेलखंड जो, हाँ बोलिए आप।
जी नहीं, प्लीज़ आप।
बुंदेलखंड अपनी सांस्कृतिक दृष्टि से बड़ा संपन्न प्रदेश है, और वहाँ जहाँ राई जैसा भी नृत्य होता है, वहाँ चतेउर भी है, जो परंपरा आज भी आप जैसा बता रहे हैं। और उरई जालौन के जहाँ आप रहने वाले हैं, वहाँ झांसी, उरई, जालौन, महोबा, बांदा, यहाँ तो बहुत सारे चित्रों के बनाने की अभी परंपरा विद्यमान है। तो अब उस परंपरा का विकास कैसे हो, ये ज़रूर आपको विचार करना चाहिए। वहाँ अच्छे स्कॉलर्स भी हैं, अब तो खैर काफ़ी बुजुर्ग हुए, लेकिन अयोध्या प्रसाद जी कुमुद, आपने नाम सुना होगा। हाँ, कुमुदी जी से आपको जानकारी मिलेगी, कभी आप मिलिए मुझसे सेशन के बाद, तो अपन बात करते हैं।
एक सवाल यहाँ पर भी है।
Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes.
So it was a very nice session. My name is Vidhu Shikhar Joshi. So just a few days ago, I attended a session similar to this on Kailashnath temple. There it was very much focused over how the sculptures of limestone have been preserved by regularly covering them in a thin layer of plaster. And by the deteriorating condition of these murals, I am very much concerned that how can we preserve these paintings and our art and history, paintings of Orchas. And follow up on this is what government can do in this and what government is doing to preserve them.
Okay.
ये तो जो है, ये दिस में भी गवर्नमेंट इज कॉम्पिटेंट, गवर्नमेंट में प्रोटेक्ट देम. ASI is there, the state level archaeology department is there. They are responsible for that. In Lakshmi temple in Orchha, they did it, but unfortunately I should admit that they made they repainted the murals at their own. So everything was vanished.
Yes.
So we should try to pursue, and this is a proper forum when we should bring all these things to the notice of the Uttar Pradesh government and Madhya Pradesh government, that they should be properly protected.
So just to add to that, Orchha is on the tentative list for World Heritage Protection.
Yes.
But putting it tentative means you still have to prepare a dossier. It has to go through a very rigorous thing. उसमें आसान नहीं होता है. But that is not the only thing. As Narmada Prasad ji has just said, कि उसको आप protection भी दे देते हैं, चाहे State Department की, चाहे ASI की. That in itself is not enough. And the other part of this conservation is when it is taken to an extreme, where the thing is, ये पुराने ठीक नहीं लग रहे, इनको अच्छा कर दो. And then you make it 21st century. And that is not protecting or preserving what was left of the past. फिर तो आपने उसको 21वीं सदी का जामा पहना दिया है, और वो जो 17वीं सदी की चीज़ है वो खो जाती है. आप कुछ इसमें जोड़ रहे थे. No, so that
intake is there. Intake.
There are organizations that might be intact. If you do not, I don't know where you are based, but interest groups इसमें बन जाते हैं. हर सब्जेक्ट के लोग इकट्ठे आ जाएं, एक्टिविटीज से हो जाता है. आपके साथ प्रशासन भी, they will help you with whatever you want to do, but you have to have a group of people there. Get an expert to tell you what to do about it. Because you know, very often the newspaper will say this place is, this chhajja is broken. So somebody else will there immediate, इसको कहते हैं अंग्रेजी में knee jerk reaction, कि अखबार में आ गया इसके लिए कुछ करो, तो जाके वहाँ पे सीमेंट लगा देते हैं, which will cause maximum damage. So if you are interested, you can have a special interest group that can be, you know, talking to the government. You can have outreach programs if you're a professional. You can talk to people like Upadhyaya sir, what to do next. हर area में there are experts of the field, but हर area में there is the average person like students who you want to get interested to do this. It cannot be left to just one person to do. Anyway, enough from me. Is there another question before we ask? There is a question there. We have another minute or time for another question. There is a question there. और फिर मैं आपको कुछ आखिरी कुछ शब्द कहने के लिए यहाँ पर इस मंच से.
Your highlighting Orchha is really delightful, and thank you for bringing this lost jewel of Madhya Pradesh to light for all of us. My only question is, how is the Orchha school influenced by Bundi and Kota school? Because it is right next to it geographically, and Bundi and Kota are rich in themselves in their schools of painting. So how much influence is there of Bundi and Kota?
Bundi, Kota and Jhalawad, they come under the region as Hadoti. And these schools, particularly Bundi school, influenced Raghogarh in Malwa. Instead of this Orchha, Orchha is much influenced by Rajasthan. Orchha and Datia, as you would have observed in these paintings, that Jaipur type of setting you will find in these Datia paintings particularly. So that this Orchha school is more influenced with Rajasthani school, and Rajasthani school particularly of this Shekhawati and this Dhundhar region of Rajasthan, not from the Hadoti region. It is not much influenced with the Hadoti region. It is more influenced with this Dhundhar region, Jaipur particularly.
So then it is particularly fitting that you are talking about Bundelkhandi paintings and Orchha sitting in Jaipur, which is the capital now of what was Dhundhar. And as we bring this session to a close, anything you would like to add to your wonderful presentation?
नहीं, मैं तो केवल यही कहना चाहूँगा कि ये तो एक ऐसा रूप है जिसको हम अपने अंदर अनुभव कर सकते हैं. चित्रकार जो है वो अपने अंदर कुछ अनुभव करता है, मूर्तिकार अपने अंदर कुछ अनुभव करता है और उसको अभिव्यक्त करता है. आचार्य हजारी प्रसाद द्विवेदी ने एक अच्छी बात कही थी. उन्होंने ये कहा था कि किसी पत्थर के अंदर जो है वो चित्रकार, ये मूर्तिकार जो है छेनी से मूर्ति नहीं बनाता है. मूर्ति तो उसमें विद्यमान रहती है, बाहर जो पत्थर है उसको हटा देता है. तो वो रूप जो है वो रूप आपके मन के अंदर है. तो और वो देखने के बाद है रूप जो आप अपने अंतर्दृष्टि से देखते हैं. जो कभी सूर्य ने देखा होगा, आंखें तो थी नहीं, अंतर्दृष्टि से जो राधा कृष्ण देखे वो हम आज देख रहे हैं. तो देखने के बाद जितना अनदिखा है रूप है वो देखना तो दृष्टि का व्यापार है, दर्शन नहीं है.
आचार्य नर्मदा प्रसाद जी उपाध्याय, आपने हमें जिस तरह से एक नया रूप दिखाया, आपने दर्शन करने का रूप हमें आज हमारे साथ जिस तरह से दिखाया, उसके लिए मैं आपकी बहुत आभारी हूँ. और उम्मीद है कि आप जल्द ही और पुस्तक निकालेंगे और हम लोगों से किसी और मंच पे, अगले साल तो मिलेंगे ही इस मंच पे, उससे पहले किसी और मंच पे मिलेंगे. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.